Eleanor Roosevelt once said, "No one can make you feel inferior but yourself." Was she right? I felt this question resonated with me deeply. It made me wonder, think, contemplate. What is inferiority? Why do we as human beings feel it so deeply? Why does it linger? Do we do it to ourselves? I know, I have. The concept of inferiority is one that torments the mind silently. It's like a leech. It's the constant feeling of insecurity, inadequacy, and lack of worth. According to modern psychology, there are two responses to an inferiority complex. One is characterized by the recipient isolating themselves from others, and the other is when the recipient begins to overcompensate and compete with others in order to prove that they aren't inferior. At times, the second response can become a superiority complex, in which one thinks they're above others. As human beings, we often find ourselves slipping into moments of self-doubt. It is almost natural, almost built into the way our minds work. Our brains are sensitive to signals around us, and sometimes even the smallest external trigger can create a sense of inadequacy. But why does this happen? Why do we allow the outside world to shape the way we view ourselves? It comes down to one thing: perspective. We fabricate entire cities using tools like cement and bricks. And in the same way, we construct our view of the world and of ourselves using two tools: a mirror and a lens. Think of the mirror as internal and the lens as external. Internally, we use the mirror to reflect upon ourselves, our triumphs, our shortcomings, our values, morals, and our efforts. The lens is what we use to zoom in on these components in the lives of others. The lens is our way of viewing the conquests and faults of our peers. For instance, that one smart kid who aces the test you dream of passing, or that one athletic student who seems to play for every team. We use the lens to motivate us, but also compare ourselves to others. For that reason, the lens can be our biggest strength and our worst weakness. It can drive us to see people and places in a positive light, pushing us to be our best selves. But it can also make us compare ourselves to others and dim our light. Earlier, I stated I had become a victim of inferiority. And here's why. My lens was so zoomed in on the successes of others that I had let my own successes feel like nothing. I was still the same person, the same priorities, same values, same morals, yet somehow it felt as if those foundations I had always relied on had quietly shifted. You might say that's just the usual teenage phase, but to me, it wasn't. Summer came and something inside me changed. I stopped enjoying things that once brought me joy, stopped showing up for people that mattered, and I felt disconnected, uncertain, and lost. Now, I look back on that fractured version of myself, and I finally understand what happened. It was the lens I was using. I had zoomed in so closely on others, their lives, their accomplishments, that I'd forgotten my own. I told myself that no matter how good I became, someone else would always be better. And I hated that thought, yet I was too drained to challenge it. But that's not true. I hated that thought, and I wanted to challenge it, but I didn't, because I thought improvement was impossible, because perfection is pointless or impossible. But we're not here to be the best. We're here to grow and become better. Where I went wrong was allowing my lens to destroy rather than build. Your lens should guide you towards becoming better, not convince you that you never can be. So, If you were to ask me if Eleanor Roosevelt was right when she said, no one can make you feel inferior but yourself, I would say yes. I would say that the triumphs, achievements, and lives of others should never affect you. You are your own person, and you should only ever strive to become better than you were yesterday. So if you find yourself wondering why that one kid gets all A's, or why that one kid plays for every team, and you don't, put your lens away and repair your mirror. Your mirror is your perception of yourself, and to allow anything external to affect that would be a disservice to the person you have spent your whole life trying to become. Thank you.